I am Mariette Sidibe, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. Now, the main local, international and sports news headlines. The family of a young Gambian brutally murdered in France speak to QTV about their anguish over his killing. The Drug Law Enforcement Agency have given an update of their operations in the West Coast region, in which they made several arrests and confiscated large amount of cannabis. Gambia joins the rest of the world to commemorate International Day of Innocent Children, Victims of Aggression. We have reflections from various stakeholders. In international news, on the sidelines reporting on the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja, QTV has an exclusive interview with Gambia's High Commissioner to Nigeria. Those were our main headlines. Now the news in detail. Following the brutal killing of a young Gambian man in the city of Saint-Etienne in France on the 27th of May 2021, the family of the victim is seeking justice for their son. QTV's regional reporter Fode Mane visited them in his home village of Kolibantang in the Woolly West district of the Upper River region. His report is narrated by Babukar Sise.
26-year Yusufa York left the Gambia for Europe in 2015 at the age of 20 via irregular routes in search of better opportunities. He lived in Italy until 2020, from where he made his way to France and settled in the city of Saint-Etienne. On May 27, 2021, Yusufa was reportedly stabbed to death in the city where he lived. A video widely circulated on social media shows some armed men attacking the young Gambian man with knives and brutally battering him, causing his death. Yusufa's father, Bambo York, explains how he heard about his son's killing. He also spoke of the effect his death has on the family, that the story has really devastated him and his family.
Iko abetambe kanye molula ye mo saisi dol ko mo kononto yo dol ba fala molulu fo mo woro yo iko ako doye wol kon mano faaye do suute kono la ba barbito ako doye wol kon dron france kangoto foyte dum fo suma yale be la ban ko mi bete nyame.
According to what I learned, Yusufa met these men sitting along the highway, and amongst them he recognized one of them, whom he asked, "Do you have a cold?" Apparently, this simple question led to the attack on him by these armed men, and one of them stabbed him in the back and on his stomach, which led to his death. We have learned that his attackers are Armenians. Yusufa was known to be a very respectful and disciplined person amongst his folks, both in and outside the Gambia, and one of my favorite sons, the father acknowledged.
Yo, yen karo ke mun silem ko Armenian ko wolle yafa. Inde unyen mo kendolem ahada mayata ama lafi sonkala sako kelo.
Apparently, Yusufa was invited to join the French army in the late 2020, where he went through training and was interviewed. It was while awaiting to hear the outcome he met his unfortunate death. Yusufa's mother, Hawa Barrow, while in tears, expressed what the shock of her son's death means to her.
Some years ago, he informed us that he is leaving to go in search of greener pasture, and we prayed for him. Since he left, all his wealth has been for his family. Yusufa was so much admired by many. Unfortunately, I am a diabetic patient, and Yusufa was my only hope, and now I am left hopeless with this.
According to Yusufa's brother, Kemo York, they are making arrangements to repatriate his brother's body. Kemo further called on the government of the Gambia and its embassy in France to ensure the perpetrators are brought to justice.
We want justice for our brother. We want his perpetrators to regret what they did. We want the case to be taken before the court and let justice prevail for not only him, but for every African. We also need all the support for his dead body to be repatriated back home and be given a fitting burial.
According to reports in France, the St. Etienne prosecutor's office requested a warrant of arrest against 3 men aged 28, 32, and 62. The 3 men were arrested and indicted on Friday afternoon for Youssoupha York's murder as well as assault and battery leading to his death. Babakar Sise, QTV News.
More than 390 kg of suspected cannabis worth an estimated $1.8 million have been confiscated by the agents of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Gambia, within West Coast region, mostly around the border with Casamas. Babakar Si reports.
According to the authorities, those involved or suspected of involvement include Gambians, Senegalese, and a Malian national in different operations in the West Coast region. Lamin K. Jobate, a drug demand reduction officer, took us through the various arrests conducted by the operatives of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency in May.
We conducted surveillance to map out routes used by drug traffickers. As we have been saying all over that West Coast, you all know, is a region that is very volatile when it comes to drug-related activities because of our the closeness of West Coast to the southern Senegalese region of Casamas. On Wednesday, the 26th May 2021 at Yundum, one Amadou Chorno Jallo alias Puna, this 30-year-old Gambian national, was arrested. About 20 big bundles of suspected cannabis was seized in his vehicle at Airport Johnson. And when it was weighed, it amounted to 19 kilograms, 400 grams. Then on Saturday, on the 29th May 2021 at Gunjur, another arrest was effected, which involved a Gambian national by the name Pa Jabang, a 42-year-old Gambian national, at 2 o'clock. And the quantity that was arrested with Pa Jabang amounted to 19 big bundles of suspected cannabis at the outskirts of Somida village in the Fonis. 2 suspects were also arrested, one Babakar Toure, a 32-year-old Malian national, and Pateka, a 38-year-old Senegalese national.
Maulud Fall, the Drug Law Enforcement Agency Commissioner for West Coast Region, called on the public to help make their work easy, as fighting drug-related issues is a national duty.
If you look at it, this operation was done within this short period, and this amount of substance was seized. But without the help of the general public also, we could not have succeeded in this operation. So it is very important for the general public to come and join us in this fight against illicit drug trafficking. We cannot do it also in the absence of the other sister forces. The police, the immigration, the army, the SIS, we are all working hand in glove in this fight.
The Deputy Commissioner of Police for West Coast Region, Ken Mendy, acknowledged the difficulties they face in controlling the borders between the West Coast Region and Casamas, but reveals that the sister security forces are working together in a joint operation to arrest these suspects.
The security alone cannot do it without the participation of the general public. And we all know West Coast, there is a porous border with our neighboring country, Senegal. And I urge the general public to come out to give information to the security so that we can fight against this drug.
According to the Drug Law Enforcement Agency authorities, some of these dealers are armed with weapons, while others are spiritually armed, as can be seen in this picture. They call on the public to be vigilant, helpful, and to report anyone suspected of involvement in drug-related issues. Babakar Si, QTV News.
On Friday, Gambia joins the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression to protect the rights of children that suffered all forms of abuses. QTV spoke to CPA and Children's National Assembly members about the day. More in this report by Ajibintu Drame.
International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression is observed annually to acknowledge the pain suffered by children who are victims of physical, mental and emotional abuse, and for their rights to be protected and safeguarded. Lamin Fati, the national coordinator of the Child Protection Alliance, says well-crafted policies and laws exist for the protection of children's rights, but more needs to be done, adding that the issues of the Gambia's Maslaha syndrome in protecting perpetrators and victimizing children also plays a part in failed enforcement of the laws.
When you have the laws, you cannot also effectively enforce the laws if you don't also do another complementary part of it, because laws goes with investment. Laws goes also in supporting the needy, the less privileged. And for example, we talk about, you have a law that talks about prohibiting children from selling or begging or scavenging around. But you realize that to most of these children on the street begging, they come from the less privileged. And yet it is government primary responsibility to make sure that it's able to have a comprehensive data of those vulnerable families to support.
Justice delayed is justice denied. Lamin Fati further states that having policies to seek justice for children victims seem nearly impossible, as it takes ages for cases to be solved by courts, leading to the public losing trust and confidence in the legal system.
Child becomes a victim, and it becomes the sole responsibility of the state to give what we call the remedial support. And this is where we talked about, okay, how do you provide those social psychological support? How do you prove to make sure that you are able to provide the needs and do a proper thorough assessment of this particular child?
Lamin Fati adds that he hopes the narrative will change for the betterment of children.
It is a pity if you just looked at the amount of resources allocated from government cover to address issues of children in this country. It's a pity. Absolutely nothing is there for their investment. We must not shy away from the fact to deal with inclusivity. We have children with disability. You can look at the whole country infrastructure. You cannot be proud of any facility that you looked at and say, well, this is a facility that is so inclusive to accommodate every child regardless of his or her ability or disability.
Ajimari Seka, majority leader in Kanifing municipalities, and Honorable Abdul Salam Sisao, Banjul National Assembly member, says government should implement laws and prioritize children's welfare.
But still now children are going in the street, like roaming about, selling, or even that can lead to child trafficking or teenage pregnancy, because you don't know what that children is going through. So that policy needs to be implemented.
Children's rights to be protected, and every child to be in a very safe and a good condition, and then children having all the social amenities they need.
Other Children National Assembly members voiced the opinion that a lack of government support in implementing laws is a challenge. Issues of government also not supporting the Children's National Assembly is a sign of not protecting children. Others voiced that more sensitization on children knowing their rights is significant in advocacy to protect children's rights. In another sign of non-physical abuse, others also mentioned that they are bullied on social media, accused of not carrying out their duties effectively. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
We will now take a commercial break. Still to come, we have more local, international and sports news.
Your favorite mobile service has done it again. Now, you can buy cash power with your QMoney account, free of charge. Yes, you heard me right. For free! Nothing is cheaper than free. So start buying your cash power from the comfort of your homes with unbeatable services QMoney has to offer. With QMoney, life is easy. Visit your nearest QMoney agent to cash in or call customer care on 133 for more information. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap after handling cash. Stay home, stay clean, stay safe. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back. 500 out-of-school adolescents have benefited from receiving the findings of a 5-year comprehensive health education research program spearheaded by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. This story by Babukar Sise is narrated by Adedrame.
The program is funded by the International Development Research Center and the out-of-school adolescents are from Banjul and the Kanifing municipality. This project seeks to strengthen access to comprehensive health and sexuality education in the Gambia and is expected to equip the adolescents with the relevant sexual and reproductive health information to break the existing culture of silence and communication barriers between parents and their adolescent children. Phoebian Aina Grant Sanyang, the program's principal investigator, says the research was conducted at various schools in Banjul and the Kanifing municipality. She explains the impact of health education on adolescents.
You have issues of menstruation, issues of ovulation, unwanted and unplanned pregnancies, unsafe abortions, STIs, usage of contraceptive without having knowledge of it. Because most of them are victims, either STDs, unwanted pregnancy, unsafe abortion, lack of knowledge about menstruation, lack of knowledge about how to take care of themselves, the stages of puberty that happens in them, and they don't know. And if they want to communicate with their parents also stop them from talking about it. And what has contributed in that is because of the culture, because of the religion, lack of knowledge from the parents, shyness, unawareness. All of this contributes to for us bringing these out of school to understand the issues concerning their adolescent life.
Madam Grant Sanyang further stated the aims of the information sharing and gave words of advice to the adolescents.
Though it's a sensitive thing, but we have to do more of this because we have seen the society, how it is changing. Adolescents, the life they are living on. So once we show these things, not only talking, but also showing them pictures, they will understand that these things, they have to stop what they are doing and as well to change the behaviors of those who have already started living negatively. So what we want is theory change, behavioral change, and let them practice abstinence and also let them use wisdom in whatever they are doing. Let them not allow their friends to influence them. Let them not allow social media to influence them. Let them always try whatever hurts them, whatever they are experiencing. The first teacher is your parent. Let them create dialogue between them and their parents that can bring a positive change in our society.
Fatou Drame from Bakau, a student and participant at the event, believes the platform is important and educative.
It's a very, very important initiative, I must say, because looking at our society today, it is a taboo, I would say. It is a taboo for a young girl, a young teenager, to have anything related to sexual health discussions with the parents. So it is a very, very important project that tries to bring in teenagers, discuss with them relating to sexual health and how they are going to protect themselves, their menstruational cycles.
The program was attended by the councillor of Talingdin South Ward, Karamo Sise, Habib ML Sise, councillor for the New Joshwang Ibo Town Ward, and Tamsir Njai, representing Latrikunda Sabiji Ward, all of whom say the program is educative and will help young people to be aware of how their bodies work and how to protect themselves. For QTV News, I am Ade Darami.
A fire outbreak on Tuesday afternoon has ravaged a 3-apartment block in Talending. Aji Bintu Drame visited the family and she now reports.
The fire consumed all the belongings of the victims. The occupants are now left homeless, hopeless and dejected. Apparently, neighbors and sympathizers frantically tried to put out the fire as the billowing smoke invaded the rooms. Usman Sheikh, a neighbor who witnessed the fire, spoke about what they encountered and what happened when the fire service arrived.
I was in my shop when my child called and told me that my neighbor's house was on fire. I quickly ran to the compound, leaving my shop open. Only one apartment was on fire by the time the fire service arrived. They tried to take out the water pipes but could not do so. Therefore, the neighbors started fetching water from the well in another neighbor's compound because the nearby taps too had no water. If it was not water from the well, the fire could have ravaged the whole neighborhood.
Pate Jiba, the PRO of the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services, says obstruction by the public and a lack of resources prevent them from carrying out effective services.
There was a fire around Talinding, and fire station from Serekunda, Churchill's Town, was called upon to do the work. Unfortunately, they had a breakdown. You know, the vehicles, as I used to tell you, share this with public, the society, that we don't have new vehicles. So we are running an errand for the people with this kind of stuff. So they could not reach, so they had to call for a backup. Imagine the backup was from Banjul. So Banjul driving all the way to Talinding is too far. Looking at the traffic and all these things that I've mentioned here, they couldn't reach in time, so they received stones.
Aissatou Cisse, one of the victims, says the fire started when she was selling at the market, and all her savings, foodstuffs, her husband's documents, and other valuables perished in the fire.
Fenne tijan sa fono minna ko nyine kanata dal parce que kiol tijan musol signol men wiya wole makoy rosoto pour kam makoy.
I can say that nothing was recovered because the fire started when the men had gone to work, and it was our neighbor that came to help us. Aissatou is now left with nothing. She took her children to her relative's house to be temporarily cared for. She is now pleading for help.
Until kanse men fono masakunda as no na sembo masakunda isi balafanya doron ye hinana ta fono la do masababe kino la nyinake.
I know the government can't do it all, but I am appealing to them to help us in any way they can, because we have lost everything and we are now left with nothing. Malayan Manka, another victim, also calls for help.
I am seeking assistance from government and individuals because we had lost everything. We have families to take care of, so we definitely need urgent help.
The rate of frequent fire outbreaks within the Greater Banjul area in recent years is alarming and needs serious attention to prevent subsequent recurrence. Many have blamed electric faults, poor wiring systems, and negligence, among others. The PRO of the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services has called on the public to cooperate with the fire services. Throwing stones at the firefighters is uncalled for and dangerous, he warned. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Here are today's international news stories. The Gambia's High Commissioner to Nigeria, Muhammadu Papanjai, says he intends to promote and broaden his country's bilateral ties with Nigeria. QTV's Aliou Cisse reports from Abuja.
Behind me is the building accommodating the Gambia's High Commission here in Abuja, Nigeria. For decades, the Gambia and Nigeria have had a long-standing bilateral ties in diverse areas in the judiciary, security, education, and other sectors. This is something that the new High Commissioner, His Excellency Honorable Papanjai, wants to consolidate for the benefit of the two countries. The Gambia's High Commissioner to Nigeria is also accredited to 14 other countries and the ECOWAS Commission. This High Commission is one of the Gambia's most important foreign missions. High Commissioner Njai is ably assisted by Deputy High Commissioner Abdullah Hydra, former Director General of the Gambia Tourism Board and staff. Speaking to QTV, High Commissioner Muhammad Papanjai described Nigeria as a big brother to the Gambia, while renewing his determination to push for more cooperation in diverse areas. Nigeria was and continues to be a formidable ally of Gambia. He observed that there are many areas Gambia could leverage.
In the areas of agriculture, because we know that Nigeria, the agricultural sector is very big, and we are also very particular about tourism, internal tourism within Africa, because that is very, very important. As we develop and grow, we have to start looking within Africa and getting tourists coming from Nigeria to Gambia and vice versa. And again, with my passion with youth and sports, I think we have a great opportunity to forge bilaterals in youth and sport. So that is something that we are very, very keen, and we're also very keen on civil aviation.
The Gambia is bidding for the next presidency of the ECOWAS Commission 2022-2026. QTV understands Dr. Omar Toure, a seasoned diplomat, has been identified for this senior position. Yaya Samate, consular officer at the High Commission, says a lot of progress has been made to realize this objective, which he said is very important for the Gambia.
Why we have bid for this position is that Gambia, as one of the founding fathers of ECOWAS, we have never had an opportunity to head this regional organization.
Abdoulaye Diallo, first secretary at the High Commission, reveals steps being taken to ease access to the Commission by Gambians, especially those who fall foul of the law.
We are on the verge of building up a database and also have a sensitization seminar with them or consultation with them to let them understand that the embassy is their port of call.
Deborah Ezeme, one of the longest-serving local staff of the Commission, expressed delight at working with Gambians. There are many Gambians in Nigeria, and as I find out, some are serving in different sub-regional institutions such as ECOWAS. I caught up with Ernest Obi, who has worked for the ECOWAS Commission as head of the Agriculture Division for the last 13 years. He informed me that they have a Gambian ECOWAS Professional Association comprised of Gambians serving the ECOWAS family.
So we come together basically to help the Gambia because the Gambia needs support. And they say charity begins at home. So the best way to support is for us as Gambian professionals to come together and help in the development aspiration of our country.
Obi uses the interview to preach for peace back home as this is an election year. While Gambia is the smallest country in the sub-region and on the African continent, its citizens are showing that the size doesn't matter, but the quality of its people does. Reporting for QTV from Abuja, Nigeria, I am Aliu Sise.
In sports. Senegal confirmed their supremacy in African beach soccer as they claimed their third win in a row in the AFCON beach soccer tournament. This time, they did so on home soil. More in this report by Ade Drame, which is narrated by Ansumana Esonyase.
Given their strength in beach soccer in Africa, it did not seem likely anyone would depose Senegal, least of all on home soil, and so it proved to be. In the Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations, Senegal 2021, the Beach Teranga Lions easily overcame Mozambique, winning 4-1 in front of a loud and expectant crowd. In the stands to watch and lend support was Senegal's biggest star, Sadio Mane. In a match divided into 4 periods, it wasn't plain sailing as Mozambique equalized soon after Senegal took the lead in the first period. For Senegal, Africa's most successful team in this form of the game, it was business as usual as they pulled away in the latter stages to record an emphatic victory. In the second period, Ninu Jata restored their lead before Parboy made it 3-1. Raul Mendy, who had opened the scoring, got his second of the game in scoring the Lions' fourth. It was Mendy's fifth of the competition. For Mozambique, disappointment at losing will be eased by reaching the final in their first appearance at the tournament. As well as picking up silver, they also get to accompany the winners at the next FIBA Beach Soccer World Cup in Russia. CAF President Motsepe presented the medals and trophy alongside by FIFA Secretary General Fatma Samoura, Senegal Minister of Sports and President of the local organizing committee Omar Gueye, President of the FSF, Fédération Sénégalaise de Football, and CAF First Vice President Augustin Senghor and Senegalese football legend El Hadji Diouf. Morocco won the bronze medals after beating Uganda 5-3 in the third place playoff earlier in the day. In addition to their silver medal, the final ceremony also witnessed the handing of the CAF flag to Mozambique as they will host the next edition of the Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations in 2022. Answana Sonyasi for QTV News.
That's all we have for you in this bulletin. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching and have a nice weekend.